I want to take you through some of the questions which we are left in our part etude of lesson number 1. Okay, so we'll first do some questions there, right? And we'll move on with the discussion about stakeholders, right? So that's why I asked you last week to all of you all to make sure that you find the answers and come, then we can reconcile the answers, right? Okay, fine. So anyway, students, uh, let me record it. Right. Now, up until 2023, we discussed all the MCQ questions, right? So we have to discuss the second paper questions from 2023 advanced level. Okay, so we'll start from here, right? We'll start from here. Okay, right. So 2023, this was one of the questions which was tested uh, from areas that we have learned in lesson number 1. Okay, right. So what we can do is we'll first discuss we'll first read the question, right? Give me 1 second. Okay, right, good. Right, okay. So we'll first read the question. Okay, right. Now, you know, students, this is a scenario based question, right? Now you know the trend of these types of questions, right? What matters is you read the question very well and underline the most important ones. Okay, that's what you need to do, right? Amali, okay, she's the owner of a business, registered a uh, yogurt manufacturing firm. It's a manufacturing firm by the name of Yummy Yogurt. Okay, she operates it by a loan. Right, so she has taken a loan to start the business from a state bank, right? From a state bank, right? She intends to operate the business activities while engaging in social responsibilities as well. Okay, right? Social responsibilities, right? So that is a part that we will be discussing in lesson number 2. Amali has recruited 5 workers. Okay, she has 5 workers for the business. Currently, she explores new avenues that can add value to the product. That can add value to the product, right? Okay. Now, the first question that they are asking, right? State the classification of this business based on each of the following. They are asking for the classification of the business, right? Now, we all know how to classify business because we discussed classifying businesses based on different bases, right? Okay, based on the nature of production, based on the production sector that we are in, right? Based on the size, right? Based on the motive, right? So likewise, students, we know how to classify businesses. Right now, they have asked us to classify Amali's yogurt business, which is Yummy Yogurt, according to the nature of product and the objective. Okay, so students, what can you say? What can you say according to the nature of product, right? What can you say according to the nature of the product? Hmm? Right, so I will give you around 2 to 3 minutes, right? Quickly give me the answer. Quickly give me the answer. Go ahead. What do you say according to the nature of product, right? According to the nature of product, right? So can you remember, students, uh, according to the classification, we discussed how to classify a business based on the nature of the production, right? Or based on the product that they offer, right? So you have primary, secondary, and then you have uh, the tertiary production, right? Out of it, right? Amali is into what? She is into yogurt manufacturing, right? So she is manufacturing something, right? So manufacturing means what? She is coming under the secondary production. You can write, right? You can write the answer, right? Right. Secondary production, right? To be more precise, you can write under secondary production, you have 2 categories: businesses who are into manufacturing, right? And businesses who are into construction. So Amali's business is actually into manufacturing, right? Through a process, she manufactures yogurt. So under secondary production, you can write furthermore, right? She is into manufacturing. Manufacturing. Okay, right. So this should be the answer. Understood? Right. So you got to keep the classification of business in your mind. Okay, right. Now, according to the objective, very easy, right? Very easy, right? According to the objective, right? This is actually what? A, a profit oriented business, right? A profit oriented business, right? Why? She manufactures yogurt and then she will be selling this yogurt to the customers so that she could make money out of it, and from that she could make profits. So the objective, of course, it's a profit oriented. That's it, right? So they have given 2 marks. If you give these 2 answers, you're good to go. Understood? Right. Okay. Then we'll move on to the next question. Okay. Write for advantages Amali can gain by obtaining a bank loan for the business. Right. What are the advantages that Amali can obtain? Uh, now, uh, I mean, she has obtained a loan from a state bank. Here we have underlined it also, right? Right, for her to do her day-to-day operations, she has obtained a loan. Right, now they're asking what are the advantages that Amali could get through this loan, right? Or for any business. Right, now this is a very simple question and a very practical question, students. Right, now what you need to do is, right, very simple. Just think that you are Amali, right? You are the owner of Yummy Yogurt, right? Now think from your perspective, what are the benefits that you can obtain if you get a loan and fund your business, right? Very practical. Okay. So what are the advantages that you can get, right? Now, when you get a loan, students, the first thing is, right, it will give you enough capital, right? It will give you enough capital, right, to start this business, which is called Yummy Yogurt. Not only to start, right, it will help, or it will give more funds for uh, expand Yummy Yogurt, right? Expand Yummy Yogurt also, right? Okay, right. So you can write that answer. The first answer you can write, okay, right? Provides capital, right? Provides capital, right? Provides capital to start and and expand, right? You can connect your answer to Amali's context, right? They're asking what are the advantages Amali can obtain. So you can say provides capital to start and expand Yummy Yogurt. Yummy Yogurt, right? Yummy Yogurt, right? Yummy Yogurt. Okay, right? Right. Right. So basically they have asked you to just note it down, students. They haven't asked you to explain. Right, now you just need to be very careful. Right, some students, they just don't read the question properly, they don't understand the requirement of the question properly, so they keep on explaining all the answers not needed. In here they have asked just for you to write for advantages, right? No need to explain, right? Okay, right. Now in here, if you want to explain, right, for future answers, right, then you can write for this particular point a small justification, right? Through these funds, uh, the business organization could obtain machinery, could buy machinery, right? Then raw materials, right? Equipments. You can write those things here, right? Okay. Okay. What is the second advantage that Amal could obtain? Right. What is the second answer point? If Amali obtains a loan, right? What are the other advantages that Amali could obtain? Right. Okay. So you can write helps improve cash flows. Helps to improve cash flows. Cash flows. Right? Okay. Right. Right. So students, what happens when you get a loan? Right? You get ready cash. Right? You will have ready funds in your account through the loan. Right? Now let's assume that when you're doing business, right, or when Amali is doing business, there could be certain points in time that Amali might face certain challenges, right, in terms of continuing the business. No, every time the business will not be successful. No, sometimes your sales might not come, sales might drop due to competition, right, or due to different types of economic fluctuations, right? Right. Okay. So in that case, there might be certain times where Amali cannot run the business smoothly. Right. So if the sales are not coming in, means the money is also not coming into the business. During those turbulent times, if you have funds through these loans, it will help you, it will help Amali to smooth the operations actually, because you have enough cash through the funds that you obtain through the loan. Okay, right? There could be times like that. Any business, we cannot say that it will have a smooth sale every single day, right? There could be possibilities, right? COVID will come, economic crisis situations will come, we don't know. But if you have enough funds through a loan, then you can use those funds actually during that turbulent time to run the operations up until the business or the economy, uh, what do you call, comes to the right track once again. You can write that. Then third answer point, what can you write? Right, third, they have asked for four advantages, right? Okay. Next one you can write, this is something related to accounting. You can obtain tax benefits, right? Tax benefits, right? You can obtain tax benefits, right? Okay, right? So basically, now when you obtain a loan, students, right? Every month you have to pay off your interest, no? Right? Interest payment, no? Right? So when you are making your interest payments, where do you go and park it? In your income statement, no? Right? Under finance expenses, you go and put your interest expenses there. So that as a result of it, when you are arriving at your final profit, you will be reducing all these interest expenses from the profit that you are going to generate. Right? So that will give you some tax benefits, right? 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 Because more the profits, more the tax that you have to pay. But from these loans, we have some interest components where we are deducting from the income. So we get a sort of a slight less profit. From that profit, you have to pay a less amount of taxes. That's why it says it's a tax benefit where you can reduce the interest amount from your income statement, right? Okay. So that, of course, you can write the answer, right? It will reduce overall taxable income, right? Overall taxable income, right? Number four, right? Number four, you can write, right? The final advantage that you can obtain, right? Right? No harm, no harm to the ownership. No harm to the ownership. What do you mean by that, students? Right? 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 Now, in this case, listen to me very carefully, right? In this case, Amali is actually running the business. Amali is actually the sole owner of this business, right? So Amali wanted some funds and he went to a state bank and obtained a loan. So because of that, did the bank will ask for an ownership of Amali's business? No, right? It's just a transaction. Bank gave the loan to Amali. Amali has a responsibility to pay off the interest and the capital portion. But students, let's assume, right? What if Amali went and asked some money from one of his friends to invest in the business rather than obtaining a loan, right? Okay. Let's say that particular friend, right, 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 accepted the invitation, and that friend actually, let's say, invested some money in Amali's business. So that particular friend will definitely at the next point he will ask for a part ownership of the business. No, right? A small ownership percentage of the business. He will say, hey Amali, I'm going to invest some money. It could be 1 million or 10 million or 100 million. I will invest. I will come in as an investor. But I need an ownership part of your business. It could be 5% ownership or it could be 10% ownership based on the investment that friend is making. So that will reduce the ownership that Amali has. Okay, right? So there you go, right? But in this case, Amali has gone for a loan so that there is no harm to the ownership of the business. Understood, right? Understood? Okay, right. So students, this is how you answer this particular question. Let me know, did you understand the concept very clearly? Or do you all have any clarifications with reference to the answer points that we have written? Any clarification? Or if you have understood everything, as usual, kindly put a thumbs up to me. Go ahead, students. Do you all have any clarifications? Understood. Very good. Very good. Right. Good. Physical students, is everything okay? All right. Okay, fine. Good. Right now, students, these are actually the questions that has been tested in your past papers. Okay. Right? So you don't have to go and look for any other questions. You learn the concepts and you do the past papers, right? Right. For which has been, for the if you can go and check the last 5 years of past papers, and if you can go back to the last 10 years also, that is more than enough. If you can do all the questions, right, of last 10 years, definitely you will be at a very good status in terms of answering the questions. Okay, right? There would be the same trend would be followed. Okay, right? Okay, fine, good. Right. Then students will move on to question number 4 in 2023. Describe the meaning of value addition. Right? Describe the meaning of value addition. Right? Okay. Right. So this, of course, students, I think I took a lot of time to explain you all about value addition. Okay, right? Added value. Okay. So in that case, I don't have to take you through this answer, right? You can refer our note, right? Very simply, I have explained you what is value addition in summary, right? Value addition means, students, when a product is moving, right, through different stages of the production, the value will be added at each stage. Okay, so if you all can remember, we took the example of how value is added for tea leaves until it is being converted to tea powder. Okay, I gave you all a very nice example, right? So if you want, if you have time, you can write a small example also, right? Okay, so in that case, students, for value addition, you can refer that note and put that answer, but don't try to go and write 1 page or 2 pages about value addition, because they are giving only 2 marks. For these types of questions, you can write what is the definition of value addition, and then you can write a small formula which I gave you for value addition. Right, the small formula that I gave, you can write that, and then if you have time, you can write a small example, a very small example. Okay, right? So you can refer the example which I mentioned. Okay, right? For that is fine. Okay, cool. Right. Now, students, let's move on to next question, the final question of 2023. Right? Okay. Right. Okay. So they're asking, okay, right? State two advantages Amali can obtain from the value addition to the product. What can you say? What can you say, students? State two advantages Amali can obtain from the value addition to the product. Now in here, students, right? In the scenario, it says that Amali is trying to add value to her yogurt manufacturing here, right? She explores new avenues that can add value to the product. Okay, right? Now, in here, she might be trying to offer different flavors of yogurt, right? Now, all these time students, we do have the same flavors of yogurt, no? Just the normal, what do you call, normal milk one, right? But nowadays you have other flavors like strawberry infused yogurt. Then on top of that you have yogurt which is mixed with some fruits, no, right? So very recently I tried. There's a yogurt which is offered by Anchor. You all might have also tried it. It's actually a stirred yogurt, right? So you have strawberry stirred yogurt. Then you have blueberry, if I could remember, blueberry stirred yogurt, right? Right. Right. So likewise, students, you have different types of fruits which is being added to yogurt. So those are new value additions, right? Rather than offering the same old traditional yogurt, right? You can add those values. Those are value additions, right? Those are value addition. And now you have what do you call what do you call uh, I mean there are some yogurt where you have prebiotics, right? Where you have prebiotics that is very healthy, right? Okay, that will reduce your constipation and all those things, right? Right, healthy yogurts are there, right? Non-fat yogurts are there. Those are all adding value to yogurt. Now they are asking, right? Now they are asking, state two advantages Amali can obtain from the value addition to the product, right? So very specifically, what are the advantages that you can obtain, right? Very simple, right? Right, right, right. If you, right, if you add value, like I mentioned, if Amali added those new things to her yogurt manufacturing, right, what will happen? That'll that'll increase more sales, right? More sales, right? More sales, right? Why? Because people would love to try new things, right? So in that case, they will definitely buy these new types of yogurt which is being offered by Amali. So more sales, right? Number two, more sales means what? More profits, right? More profits, right? What else you can write, right? As a result of it, everyone is demanding Amali's yogurt because Amali's yogurt is very different from other brands of yogurt, right? So in that case, that will increase the brand reputation of Amali's yogurt, right? Right. Increase, right? In let's you can say yummy yogurt reputation, yummy reputation, right? Right. So since they're asking about the Amali's yummy yogurt business, you can connect your answer to yummy yogurt, right? Okay. So more sales, more profits, increase in reputation. Then number four, you can write what do you call uh, can can win over competition, isn't it? Right? Why win over competition? Because your competitors, right? Oh, Amali's competitors, those who are offering uh, yogurt, right? Those who are offering yogurt, they are offering the same type of yogurt, right? But Amali is offering a different type of a yogurt, right? So in that case, you can win over the competition very easily. So you can write any of these answers, students, right? Now in here, I was just thinking practically. I was thinking practically. So if you think practically, you will be able to get good answers, quick answers. In business studies, you have to think practically. Okay, all right, students. Okay, fine. Now let's move on to 2022 A levels, right? 2022 A levels. Okay, right. These are very easy questions. Physical and mental needs that needed to be essentially fulfilled by humans are called what? Physical and mental states, right? Right. I told you. when it comes to what? Needs. There are physical needs and then there are mental needs. Okay. So in that case, they're talking about needs, right? They're talking about needs. What's the answer? Needs. Right. Then number 2, a business sector classified based on the nature of production. There you go, students. Look how they are directly testing, right? From the classification of business, there had been ample amount of questions which was tested from what you call classification of business. Okay, right? So in that case, students, when you're studying, give priority for the classification of business. They're testing a lot of questions, right? Okay, fine. So according to the nature of production, right? You have primary, secondary, and tertiary, right? So sole proprietorships, no. Public, no. Right? So sole, public, all are based on the ownership, right? Based on the ownership. Franchise, no. Primary businesses, yes, right? Primary, secondary, and tertiary. So primary is here, right? Okay, right, right. Okay, so this is the answer, right? Okay, next one, right? Next one. Alpha company produces high quality products, right? Okay, high quality products. So whenever you are reading, students, if there's anything important, make sure that you highlight. Alpha company is producing high quality products. By examining the methods for enhancing cost efficiency, okay, they're using some methods. So examining some methods to increase the cost efficiency, right? Right, cost efficiency, right? Which means you are trying to find some methods to reduce the cost and then improve the quality of your product. Okay. And also they're trying to find methods to enhance purchasing raw materials daily. Moreover, the company continuously concerned about innovative opportunities. Innovative means what? New things, right? Right. You are going to innovate. You have innovative ideas means you have new ideas, right? Innovative opportunities through novel technological strategies. Oh, through new technology, we are gonna introduce new things, right? Right. The number of research and development activities included in the above case. Okay, right? How many research and development activities are shown here? Now we discussed about research and development, right? We discussed about research and development uh, under business functions, right? Okay, I told you in research and development we are considering two parts. One is how can you increase the quality of your existing products, right? Okay, and the next phase of it is how are you going to offer new things. So based on those two aspects, what are the things that they are doing, right? So they say examining methods to enhance cost efficiency. For the existing product, they are trying to find ways to increase the efficiency. That's one. Why? Right? One type of a research and development uh, activity. Then they are trying to find new methods of purchasing raw materials daily, right? To enhance your purchasing raw materials, right? Find new ways to purchase raw materials, quality raw materials every single day without any delay. They're finding ways. So now we have got two activities under research. Moreover, the company is continuously concerned about innovative opportunities. Now you're doing something new. You want to do something new, right? Opportunities through novel technological strategies. This is number 3. So what's the answer here? You have 3 activities that you are doing under research and development. So answer is answer number 3. Answer number 3. Look how if you know the concept, you can very quickly find the answer, students. Understood? Right? Understood? Right. Very good. So students, up until now, do you all have any questions? Any questions? Online students, please ask, right? Please ask any questions. Very good, right? That's what I want. Very good. All right. So we'll move on to the next question, students, right? We'll do some questions as much as possible, and after that, we'll move on to the next part. Okay, we'll move on to question number 4, right? We'll move on to question number 4, right? Okay. So we are discussing 2022, 2022 A levels. These are not the questions which I have made, right? These are the questions which has been tested in your advanced level examination in the previous years. Okay, right, fine. Okay, if a customer prefers certain goods because of its unique identity, that good is what? Right, that good is what? Due to the unique identity, right? Right, right. Due to the unique identity, right? I told you, right? Certain products or certain brands, they do have a uniqueness, right? Okay, so in that case, right, whatever the brands available or whatever the products available, you will go for the product that you like and that you prefer because of that uniqueness, right? Right. So let's say if you want to buy a vehicle, you will always go for Toyota. Why? Because Toyota is unique for its technology, precision, right? Okay, right. If you want to buy an apartment, you will say, I will always go and buy Prime Land Apartments. Okay, unique. Due to some reason, Prime Land Apartments could be unique to you. It could be the service, or it could be the location, right? Right. Or it could be the price. We don't know, right? So what are those, students? Is it convenience goods? No, right? In convenience goods, of course, right? We don't look at the uniqueness, no, right? We just go to the supermarket or the shop, I mean, the closest boutique store, and we just go and buy, right? Right. Unsought goods, not really, not really. Okay, right. Unsought goods, you all know, right? Like insurance policies and all, right? Those products will be unaware by the customers for a particular period of time, and then through a referral from another customer, you will get to know, and then you start buying if you feel like the product is good, right? Shopping goods, right? Even shopping goods also have some level of uniqueness, right? But if you take the normal shopping goods, like let's say clothes, right? If you take clothes, right? I mean, there is not much uniqueness. You go and buy a t-shirt from what do you call Cool Planet and a t-shirt from, let's say, Odell. Not much of a big difference, right? Okay, right, right, okay, right. So private goods, right? Okay, we didn't talk anything about private goods, right? Specialty goods. This is the answer. Specialty goods, right? You all can remember, right? Before you buy specialty goods, you spend a lot of time, lot of effort, because you put a long investment, a large investment, right? Right? You do a big comparison, and then you go and buy specialty goods. Specialty goods, right? That's the answer, right? So the examples that I told you are coming under the specialty goods, the vehicles and buying apartments and all, right? Okay, fine, good. Okay, right. So what's the answer for question number 5, students? What's the answer for question number 5? What can you say? What's the answer for question number 5? Now you all have to help me. You all have to help me, right? This also I mean, you can get the answer from the tree diagram that I gave you. Can you remember? Huh? I hope you all can remember. So what's the answer? Right? Trade is one part, right? Right? Trade, right? Trade is one part, and then there's another part, right? All of your, right? What? Your business support services, no? Auxiliary or business support services, right? Right? Auxiliary, or else you can write business support services, right? Right. So these are the two components which is coming under commerce: trade plus auxiliary or else business support services like banking, transport, insurance, communication, warehousing. They're providing support services, right? And then trade, on under trade you have local trade, foreign trade, right? Right. Okay. Right. So that is called commerce. That is called commerce, right? So that's about that, students. Right. Okay. We have few more questions. Right. So we'll do 2021 advanced level as well. Right. Okay. We'll do 2021 as well, and after that, uh, we can finish off everything. Okay. Go ahead. Right. All right. Uh, right. Through every good and service, consumers are. Through every good and service. When you say good and services, students, right? When these two are combined together, we can call it as what? What? Products. Right? Right? Products. Right? Right? So through products, we are trying to what? Fulfill what? Needs and wants. Needs and wants are to be fulfilled. Right? Not only needs, not only wants, right? Both the needs and wants are fulfilled, right? Okay. Next, primary product means, now you know primary products, right? Under the nature of production, right? Under the nature of production, right? We had primary products, secondary and tertiary. Primary products, very specifically in here, we are gonna uh, obtain uh, raw materials, right? In its natural format, right? In its natural format, right? We're not going to make any changes, right? So in that case, not byproduct, not support services, not finished goods. No, not finished goods. We have not yet finished it, processed it, nothing. We are just taking in its original format from the environment, right? So unprocessed raw material, exactly. This is the answer, right? Right? Right. This is the answer. Unprocessed raw materials, right? Okay. Right. If you go to the ocean, you catch some fish, come back and you sell it. Unprocessed raw material, right? Right. If you do mining, no, right? What do you call? You get all these gems and all, right? Minerals, unprocessed. But if you are converting them, then those are coming under what? Secondary, right? Okay. Right. Good. Then you have question number 3. Question number 3, right? Value added for a product means, once again, value added for a product. What do you mean by value added? Cost of raw materials, not really cost of production. No, they're talking about value addition. Sum of the production cost and profit. Okay. Difference between production cost and sales profit. Not really. Value increment at every stage of the production. Yes, this is the correct answer, right? In value addition, that's what we discussed. At every stage of the production, we added value to the product, from tea leaves to tea powder, right? We added different types of value at every stage. Okay, you all can remember my example. Okay, so that's why students, I teach you with examples, right? Right. Right. So when you know examples, when you can recall examples, you can recall the concept as well. That's what matters. So whenever I tell an example to you, right, make sure that you write it down in your notebook. Okay, right? It won't take much time. When I tell a small example, write it down in your notebook, or you can take a small sticky note and write it down. Then when you're studying, students, right, sometimes you might not remember the concept, because in business studies we learn a lot of concepts. So there might be possibilities where we forget certain concepts. In that case, these examples, these tiny examples which I gave you, will come into the picture, right? And they will remind you about the concept. You might not remember about the value addition, But you might remember the example that we discussed on how tea leaves are being plucked and converted into tea powder in a factory, right? From that, you can recall the concept. That's the importance of learning business studies with examples. Okay, right. Okay. Next one, the input output process of an organization. Are you very easy questions, right? What do you mean by the input output process of the organization? We call it as what? The production process as well. You have the inputs, right? And then you have the business functions, and then you have the output, right? We discussed this as well. Okay, right. Question number 5. Question number 5, right? A force of businesses task environment. Oh, this is something which we didn't discuss. We will be discussing it in our next part, right? So don't do that. Right, okay, right, right, okay. Question number 6, right? Question number 6, what are the answers? Based on the physical existence, right? Right, right. Based on the physical existence, okay? Physical existence, right? Okay. A computer is an example for a what? Hmm? What can you say, students? What can you say? Yes, exactly. Very good. Very good. You all have given answers. Very good. Right? Okay. Yes. Based on the physical existence, right? Physical, right? Right. Right. There are certain goods where physically existing, right? We can see. If you take a computer, no, we can physically see it. We can physically touch it. Those are what? Tangible goods, right? Those are tangible, right? Tangible, right? Right. Right. Tangible. And then computer software, computer software, students, can we see it? No, it's a software, no, right? It's a software, it's a program, right? Okay, so we cannot see it, right? So we cannot touch it even. So it's an intangible good. It's an intangible good. Intangible good. Okay, right. Okay, next one, conducting all types of business activities via internet is what? Simple. Electronic business, right? Electronic business, right, is called electronic business. Conducting all business activities, right? Not only buying and selling, but all business activities, from marketing to handling HR, handling customer related matters, from finance, everything is done through internet. Those are called electronic business. It is, if electronic commerce is like this is e-commerce, right? You can remember this. If this is e-commerce, right, then the bigger one is what? Is e-business. This is e-business. This is e-business. That's why we say e-commerce is a subset of the full e-business. Understood? Right. Okay. So that, of course, we know now. Name 4 main resources required for a business. You can write land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, whatever you can write. Okay. Right. Good. Okay. Right. They have given us another question, right? Okay, we'll finish off this question also, right? Okay, right, right, okay, right. Let's read. Give me 1 second, hold on. This is 2000. This is 2021. 2021. Okay, 2021. Okay, right, okay. Read it. Take around 1 minute, read it, students. Take around 1 minute and read it. Go ahead. And you can answer the questions also. After that, we'll discuss quickly the question. Okay, as always, it's actually a scenario based question once again, right? Right, it's a scenario based question once again. Okay, let's read it. on, give me 1 second. Right, okay, fine. Okay, right. So once again, another company. Okay, so business is all about new companies, new business organizations. Okay, right. Very interesting. Okay, right. Automobile company. This time it's about automobile company, right? Automobile company. You can underline the name of the company. When you are answering your question, you can use that name of the company as well. Assemblers are they are assembling and selling zero emission motor vehicles. What are these zero emission motor vehicles? Those are not the traditional combustion vehicles, right? Most of these vehicles are into hybrid, no? Then electric vehicles. Those are all zero emission vehicles, right? Although a large number of employees work in the company, it's a big company because large number of employees are working. Employee performance only a single task. Employee is performing only a single task, right? In addition, the company offers after sales services. Fine, okay. Right. So an employee is performing only one single task. Right, okay, right. One single task, even though the company has a large amount of employees, an employee is performing only one single task. In addition, the company offers after sales services. Right. Not only assembling and selling, after sales services are also provided for the customers. Now, whenever you sell a vehicle to students, right? After that, there might be certain repairs for the vehicles. No, accidents would occur. So in those cases, automobile company limited is helping to repair the vehicles, do the services and all those. Those are called after sales services, right? To buy the spare parts and all those things. Moreover, the company began to produce spare parts. Now they started manufacturing spare parts also. The company pays a large sum of income tax to the government and contributes to the regional infrastructure development, right? Okay. So seems like automobile company is a very big company, right? Which are manufacturing zero emission vehicles, right? They're assembling, actually, not manufacturing, assembling, right? They're bringing the parts and they are assembling them, selling them, providing after sales services, and also on top of that, now they are into manufacturing spare parts also, right? So that's why they pay a large income tax, because they make huge profits, right? Very good company. Okay, fine. Now let's read. Name 2 products that the company offers for customers with examples. Oh, very simple. Very simple. 2 types of products. What can you say? What can you say? Very simple, right? We underline the answers also, right? Zero emission motor vehicles. That's answer number 1, right? Right, right. Now, students, when it comes to products, two products means there are 2 things, no? Right? Products means either a good or a service, right? Right. So which means you can write examples for goods as well as services also, right? So first let's talk about goods. So they're offering what? Zero emission vehicles. Right? Zero emission motor vehicles. Zero emission motor vehicles. That is number 1, right? Zero emission motor vehicles, right? And then you can write what? Another good that they offer is what? Spare parts. Here, producing spare parts. Spare parts. Spare parts. Right? Right? Number 2. Number 3, you can write what? You can write a service also. They are providing what? After sales services. Right? After sales services. I told you products means either a good or a service, right? So look how easy is this, right? We underlined all the important ones, and then these important things that we highlighted, we took them as answer points, right? That's the beauty of these scenario based questions, students. You don't have to think outside the box, and you don't have to think, actually answers are given in the scenario. It's just a matter of catching the answers. That's why I say underline the most important ones you feel. Those are your answers. Okay, right. Okay. Next, they're asking state 4 ways how the company has contributed to the sustain of the economy. So this, of course, we discussed in our previous questions also, even in our tute also, right? How a business is actually contributing to the economy, right? Right, right, right. So what can you say, right? Now in here, right? According to the answer point, right? Let me just get the highlighted answers. Hold on. Here you go, right? So according to this question, we have so many answers that you can take, right? So in this, right, for the benefit of the economy, right, it says large number of employees. Here we have highlighted large number of employees are working in this company, right? That is one answer point. Because what? Providing employment opportunities. You can write that answer point. Number one, providing employment opportunities, right? Number one, right? Right. Employment opportunities, right? Employment opportunities. Number one. Okay. Right. Number two, what can you write? Right. Number two, what can you write? Right. Right. It says the company is paying large sum of income tax. Isn't it good or bad? It's good because these taxes will be paid to the government and government will use these taxes to improve the infrastructure facilities of the economy. Isn't it good? That's good, right? That's another answer point. Okay. Right. Paying taxes. Paying taxes. Right. Now these are not the answers which I have designed. I have taken it from the description itself. Okay. Then what? In the answer, in the description, it says, and the business is contributing to the regional infrastructure development, right? Now, this automobile company limited might be in a particular area, let's say in Rajagiri, right? So, since automobile company limited is in Rajagiri, this automobile company is actually helping to improve the infrastructure facilities in Rajagiri area, right? Sometimes they might be sponsoring to develop the roads in that area, right? With their private money, right? Okay, right, right. So likewise, they are helping for certain infrastructure developments, right? Okay, right. So that is also another answer point, students, right? Regional infrastructure development, right? Because we have seen a lot of businesses who are doing that, right? Very recently, we saw uh, a company who has funded to refurbish the Maradan railway station. Look, you go there and see, it's very nice now, right? Okay, right? Those are all regional infrastructure development. That's another answer point, right? Right, right. What else you can write furthermore, right? To sustain the economy, right? To sustain the economy, right? Right. You can write what do you call offering zero emission vehicles. Offering zero emission vehicles. Why? As a result of it, what? You will be able to protect the environment, because if you sell zero emission vehicles, the environmental pollution will go down. That's a good thing. That's another good thing, right? You can write that answer also, right? Okay. So another answer could be, you can write at the end of the day, automobile companies actually satisfying the needs and wants of people when it comes to their transportation needs. You can write that answer also. Any answer you can write. Okay, fine, good. All right. So look, students, how I got full marks. How I got full marks for these two questions simply by getting the answer points from the description given. Simple as that. Simple. Okay, right? Okay, good. All right. So follow the same thing. Okay. So we have another 3 more questions, right? Okay. explain 2 reasons why businesses should aim for profits, right? Okay. Why businesses should aim for profits? Why businesses should aim for profits, right? Right. Why businesses should make profits? Now it's time for you to give me some answers, right? Give me some answers. Go ahead. Give me some answers. It's up to you to give me some answers. Go ahead. Now I've been giving you answers, right? So physical students, you all can write the answers, and online students, you all can put the answers in the chat. Can you say, right? Just think, right? Right? You're doing a business, right? You're doing a business, and right, just think that you're an owner of a business, right? And they're asking, okay, why you should make profits? Why you should make profits, right? You can also make losses. No? What's the importance of making profits? Why every business is aiming for profits, right? Why businesses should aim for profits, right? Right. Okay, I'm getting some answers. To get rid of risks, to grow. Yes, very good. Those are the answers, students. Very nice. Very good, Evin, right? Very good, right? Those are the answers that we need, right? Obviously, right? Right. So you need to make profits, right? Right. To get rid of risks, right? To grow your business, right? So we'll nicely take those answer points and we'll give you a very good full complete answer. Okay, you can write this, right? Okay. Number one, right? Number one, you can write, okay, right? Number one, you can write, you have to make profits because you need to survive, to survive, to survive, okay, right, right. Because if you make a profits, right, if you make profits, right, through these profits, we can pay off our expenses, right, that we are incurring, right, and we can continue operating the business. So in that case, you can survive. If you make losses continuously, can you survive? No, you can't survive, right? There a particular time will come, you make losses continuously and you come to a point where you cannot bear any losses further, so that you will close down the business. So you need profits for you to survive, right? Then you need profits for you to grow your business, to grow your business, right? To grow your business, right? You need profits to grow your business, right? Grow your business means you need profits to expand your business, right? To buy new equipments, right? To open up new branches in different locations, not only locally but in other countries. That is called growing your business, right? Okay, grow your business, right? Then number three, right? As Evin said, right? As Evin said, to handle risks, right? To handle risks, right? To handle risks, right? We need profits to handle risks, right? Okay, right now, I mean, when you're doing business, students, you know the business environment is dynamic. We don't know what will happen tomorrow in the next few minutes, right? The best example is COVID. Due to COVID, right? Businesses were not ready to what you call face COVID at that time. All I mean, what do you call, uh, airports closed, what do you call, harbors closed, right? No movement of goods, right? So businesses were facing a very critical, business were at a very critical situation at that time during COVID, right? So money was not coming, right? At that particular point in time, right? Businesses couldn't get the cash inflows to the business because they were unable to sell off their products or get the raw materials on time to make the products, right? But they had to incur expenses because employees were working, they had to pay salaries, no, right? They had to pay for their suppliers for the previous orders. So for that, for those types of challenges, students, if you have profits, those profits have been accumulated in your business, so you can use those profits, right? And what do you call, handle those challenging times until the business environment recovers, right? So you can write to handle risks, right? And then the other point we can write what? To reward owners, to reward, owners. Why? In the business, there are different types of investors who has invested, right? So these investors, they have not invested free of charge. They need a return for their investment. So for that, you have to make profits. If you don't make profits, how can you give the returns to investors? You can't, right? So that's why you need to make profits. So students, if you can write these 4 points, that is more than enough, right? Anyway, most of you all have got the right answers, right? So make sure that you jot these answers down. Okay, right, good. Okay, right, fine. So shall we move on to the next question, students, very quickly? Okay, right. Okay. In addition to after sales services, right? Once again, it's a question which is tested, right, from the description which is being given. Okay, right. In addition to after sales services, in this description it says this particular automobile company is offering after sales services, right? In addition to these, briefly describe 2 other services that can be offered by this company to the customers. 2 other services that can be offered, right? Apart from the after sales service. Now, what they say is this particular company, they are assembling zero emission vehicles. They are selling them into customers, and on top of that, after sales services are also provided. Like what do you call, they are providing spare parts, they are providing repair services, accident repair services, all those things are offered. Those are after sales services offered. Apart from these after sales services, the question is asking what are the other types of services this particular company could offer. What can you say? Huh? Think practically, right? A company who is dealing with vehicles, right? What can you say? What are the other 2 types of services? Think practically. Think practically. Some services related to vehicles, right? 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 Boys, of course, can get the answer very quickly because you all are very much fond of vehicles, no? Right? When you buy a vehicle, right? Right, there are 2 types of services that exactly you need those services. What are those? Huh? Huh? Think practically. Huh? Right? You can put the answers in the chat. Girls, of course, you all can also try, right? There's no offense, right? Okay. Can't balance, right? Okay. Right. So students, we can say this particular company can provide insurance services, no? Insurance, right? Right. Insurance services. Why? When you're buying a vehicle, right? At the next moment, you need to think of an insurance because anyway, according to the motor traffic law of Sri Lanka, you got to have at least a third party insurance. But a lot of people, if they're buying high value vehicles like these zero emission vehicles and all, right, their spare parts are kind of expensive, and if they get into an accident, it'll cost them a lot to recover it, right? Right, repair it. So in that case, they will go for a full insurance. So in that case, this particular company can provide insurance services, right? Insurance services. When the vehicle is being sold, a couple package could be offered with insurance also. Number 2, right? They can offer what? Leasing services or financing services, financing or leasing services, right? Okay, because in Sri Lanka, students, right, I mean, the vehicle prices are very expensive, no, right? Right. So, what do you call, most of the individuals who are going for a better vehicle, they will put a lease, no, right? They will put some money that they have saved, but majority are going through leases, right? So it's a financing facility, right? So you can provide leasing facilities also, right? The customer can give like around 10% of the total value, and the balance 90% could be taken through a leasing facility where the customer is getting uh, like 5 years or 10 years to pay off the debt. Okay, leasing facilities. Okay, and then another service we can say vehicle registration services. No, vehicle registration services, right? Right. When you are buying a vehicle, right, at the next day itself, you cannot put the vehicle to the road. First, you have to register the vehicle, right? You have to register the vehicle at motor traffic department, right? So at Narahimpita. So this particular company can offer these vehicle registration services as well, right? Now, when I bought my vehicle, the particular car sale, uh, they actually uh, they actually provided vehicle registration services free of charge, right? Okay, they said, okay, sir, we will do the registration and everything, and we will give you the book whenever you are coming to pick up the vehicle. So I didn't have to go through the hassle of going to motor traffic department, filling applications and registering my vehicle. They did it for myself. Okay, so services, right? Now, so these answers actually, I mean, it's really not the theories, okay, right? If you think practically, come on, you can get these answers. You can get these answers. Okay, right, good, fine. Question number B, explain what is meant by an employer performs only a single task. Right, in this question it says even though this particular company has large amount of employees, every employee performs only one single task, right? Okay, what do you mean by that? And state two advantages the company can obtain from it. Oh, okay, right. So students, an employee performing only a single task means, right? Okay, which means students, this concept is called division of labor, right? This concept is called division of labor. Division of labor, right? We discussed this concept also, right? We discussed this concept, right? This is called division of labor, right? Division of labor, right? So in division of labor, students, what happens, right? Okay, this is a practice where you're breaking a big job, right? A big job. Now, let's say in this example, you have assembling vehicles, right? Now, vehicle assembly is actually a big job, actually, right? It has different types of activities, right? Right, right, right. It could be, what do you call, what do you call, uh, what do you call, uh, assembling the chassis, right? Then assembling the engine, right? And making the shapes of the doors, right? Then the electrical parts, right? Then paint job. So there are different types of jobs in this whole assembly job, students, right? Right. So there are different types of uh, activities that you do in assembly of vehicles. So what you do is this, in division of labor, according to this example, assembly, right? Right. Assembly, right? Right, assembly, right? That's the main job that we do. Assembly of vehicles here, right? They're assembling, this ABC company is assembling zero emission vehicles, right? So this is the bigger job, right? I mean, this is the big task that we do, right? Under assembly you have different types of tasks that you do, right? Right, okay, right. It could be, right, it could be paint, paint job, right? It could be electric jobs, right? Electrical jobs, right? Right? Because this particular vehicle should have a particular, what do you call, I mean, there's a part that comes to electronics, no, right? Okay, right? The batteries and how these hybrid batteries and e-batteries work, right? So that's an electrical part. Okay, paint job is another part, right? Okay, right, right. So likewise, students, you have different types of jobs here, right? Right. This whole job is divided into different jobs, right? Breaking down the bigger job into small jobs, right? Okay. So students, for each of these jobs, what happens? Assigning different types of workers responsible for each of these tasks under each of these jobs, right? Right. Paint කරනවා නම් නේ, for door painting, one person is responsible. To paint the body, one person is responsible. In terms of electrical activities, right? To handle battery related electrical activities, there's one person, right? Right, right, right. To handle, let's say you have these wipers and all the other power shutters, those are another segment. To handle those, you have another individual. So that is called an employee is being given only a single task from the full job. So this is called division of labor. Rather than student, one individual is doing all these activities. No, we have each individual focusing on different activities, right? So this is called division of labor, right? Right. Okay. Now they are asking, what is this? This is division of labor and two advantages that the company can obtain from it. Through division of labor, what are the advantages that the company can obtain? Right? What are the advantages? What are the advantages? Number one, right? Right? We discussed all these things. Number one, you can write job specialization. Job specialization. Right? Why? The person who is responsible for the paint jobs, he will continuously do the paint jobs and he will know how to do the painting to the best of his ability, better than anyone. So he will specialize in that job. He will know all the nitty-gritties of painting, but he doesn't know anything about electric activities. That's a drawback actually, right? Okay, right. Job specialization. Number two, you can say improved efficiency. Improved efficiency, right? Improved efficiency. You can improve the efficiency. Why? Because students, when a particular individual is performing the same task over and over again, he will find ways to increase the quality of the output, right? Right. The person who is actually performing battery related activities, he will find ways to make a better battery, right? Which will give a better output, right? That will improve efficiency, right? Right. At a low cost, you can provide high quality, right? Because you're focusing on the same task. If you're doing the same activity over and over again, after some time you will find ways to do that task in a better way, right? So that will lead to more efficiency. Okay, right. Number three, you can write, right? Promoting innovation. Innovation means, now you know, right? New ideas, right? Now students, what happens when you focus on doing the same task over and over again, you will try to think differently and try to find new ways to do that task. That will lead to more innovations, new ways, right? New ways, right? Innovations, right? Right. So you will find different better methods, right? More improvements that will lead to more innovations, right? Okay, right. So students, these are few of the advantages that you can obtain through division of labor, right? Division of labor, right? So another answer you can write, increase in the quality of the product, right? If all these things are happening, it will increase the quality of the product. Okay, right, good. Okay, students, right? Do you all have any questions? Do you all have any questions? You all have any questions? Just take around 1 or 2 minutes, read it, and please let me know if you all have any questions. Go ahead. Right, because I want to finish off all of these questions today, right? And then after that, we can say goodbye to part A. If you all have any questions, please do let me know. Okay, students, right. Now, do you all have any questions as of now with the questions that we discussed? Right? Any questions? Right? No, right? No questions, right? Okay. There can't be any questions because we have learned all the things which has been tested through these questions, right? So these are not the questions which I have prepared. These were the questions that was tested during the last 5 years of your past papers, right? From 2020 to 2025. Okay, right? So when we are doing our revision, we will discuss the 2026 paper also, which is happening in couple of weeks, right, from now on, right? So students, are these hard? Are these questions, just honestly say, are these questions very hard? Huh? Yes or no, right? No, right? These questions are not hard actually, right? Now you might feel, right, if you have studied methodically the things that I have given in the tude, your life is going to be very easy, right? Right? You just need to study only the things that I have given in the tude, right? Because nothing was there in these questions which was not tested in the tude, right? Which was not taught in the tude. Everything was taught, right? Because this particular handout is prepared like that, right? So I have taken into consideration what was the past paper questions which has been tested, and based on that, I have prepared the handout, and also according to your teacher's guide. So in that case, that's what I told you at the very first day also, right? If you study the tute or the handout that I give you, you're not gonna lose anything, students. And you don't have to refer to any other additional notes also, not needed, right? Right? Why you have to pile up more work? Right? Just study the tute, go to the exam and answer. That's it. Okay, right? Simple as that. Right? And the other thing which I want to tell you is from day one itself, when you are answering the business studies paper, try to think practically. Try to think practically, right? When you look at a question, just put yourself into that question. If they're talking about a business, think that you are the owner of that business, right? Right? And then find answers like the owner of that business. Then you will get more answers, very good answer and practical answers, right? So my second giveaway is think practically, right? Think practically. If you can think practically, definitely you can get a good result for business studies. Okay, right, fine, good. All right, with that thought in your mind, students, let's move on to, right, let's move on to question number, the final set of questions which has been tested from 2020 advanced level. Okay, right? So 2020, let's read the question. Okay, a business. They're talking about a business. An MCQ question. What is a business, right? If you can refer the definition which I have given, you can find the answer. A business is a group of people motivated by profit. Um, Not really. There are businesses, I mean, which has a not-for-profit motive as well, right? So this is wrong. Any economic activity based on service? No, not really, right? Right? A business could offer a physical good as well, right? A business is offering a product. It could be either a good or a service, not only a service. So this is wrong. An organized effort of individual for selling goods, right? Okay. not only selling goods, right? They could offer services as well, right? Like banking, warehousing, transportation, insurance, services. So this is wrong, not only selling goods. An organized effort of individual for producing goods, not really. A business will involve in either producing a good or offering a service, right? Right? Not only producing a good. Then obviously fifth answer should be the correct one. An economic activity which fulfills individual needs and wants. Yes, that's the answer. Any economic activity, right? You know what is an economic activity? An economic activity is an activity which is conducted to fulfill human needs and wants, and for that you get something in return, right? So this is the answer. Answer number 5. Okay, right, right. As per the classification of gross domestic product, as per the classification of gross domestic product of Sri Lanka, an economic activity which belongs to the industrial sector. Industrial sector. Okay, right. What is the activity which belongs to the industrial sector? What can you say? Right, right. What can you say? Right. Any answers, students? Any answers? Right. So you could refer what? If you can remember very specifically, I ask you to uh, give more priority for the classification of businesses based on the production sector. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka would be classifying businesses based on different sectors. Right? You have agriculture, forestry, fishing. Right? I gave you the Central Bank report also. Then the second sector is industries. And the third sector is what? Services. Right? So they're asking economic activity which belongs only to industrial sector. Right? Right? So let's look at the answers. Right? Okay. Right? Let's look at the answers. Right? Right? So we can see forestry, right? Very simply, forestry, we cannot take it here because forestry goes under the first category, agriculture, forestry, and fishing category. So that is out. Sale of vegetable seeds, right? Right, right. Sale of vegetable seeds, right? What can you say about that? That is also coming under what? Agriculture, forestry, and fishing. This is also wrong. Okay. Then you take insurance, right? Right? Very specifically, if you go to the note and check on the table, right? 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 You have financial services, insurance services, right? Real estate activities, all are coming under what? Services sector. Wrong, right? Then what else you have? What else you have? Legal advocacy, right? Legal advocacy. What do you mean by that? Providing legal services, right? Legal service, as I told you earlier also, it's a professional service which is provided by a professional lawyer. So any professional services are coming under what? Under services. So that is wrong. Then what's the answer? Recycling. Recycling, right? Recycling, right? Right? So as an example, you collect plastic, right? Plastic waste, you bring it, and then you convert this plastic into fabric, and then you can make clothes, you can manufacture clothes, right? Adidas and Nike is doing it. I think in Sri Lanka, I think MAS or Brandix is also doing that, right? They're using plastic waste, and from that they're making different types of clothes, converting plastic into fabric and then clothes. So they are into manufacturing something, right? So that's what they're asking under industrial sector, industrial sector. Okay, right? So students, this is the answer. Recycling is the answer. Okay, right. Question number 3. what is the direct action that can be taken by an enterprise to generate a fair earning for the owners? Right? Okay. Right. A direct action can be done. Right? This is also something practical. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. 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 A direct action that can be done to generate fair earnings for the owners, because when you're doing business, students, one of the main responsibilities of a business is to generate a return, a fair return for the owners. So they're asking a direct action for that. Managing waste, not a direct action. Fulfilling social welfare, not for owners. You're doing social welfare for the society. Assuring job security of employees, not a, I mean, it's for employees, right? Not for the owners. Investing money in productive ventures, that's a direct activity. When the organization, when the investors or the owners put funds to the business, those funds needs to be allocated to productive investments, productive ventures. You cannot just waste that money. You have to use it for productive ventures that will directly earn them return. Okay, right? Right. Setting fair prices for goods and services. This is actually for customers, no? Right? As customers, we would be happy to buy goods and services or buy products at a fair price. So this is for customers. So the answer is answer number 4. Right? You got to think practically. That's it. Okay. Right. Question number 4. Right. What is the most prevalent business establishment type in Sri Lanka? Right. What do you think? Most prevalent, right? Right. Right. No hard and fast rule. Sole proprietorships. This is actually a question which is tested from lesson number 4, right? I mean, just wanted to put it there. Sole proprietorship means, students, අපි කියන තනි පුද්ගල ව්‍යාපාර කියලා. Anyone who is starting their own business by themselves, right? It's a sole proprietorship. You own the business, you run the business, right? So everyone would start there actually, right? Okay. So sole proprietorships. Okay. Right. What is this? Right. Okay. Okay, fine. So we'll find the answer, something to think. Okay. What is the immediate effect? Okay. What is the immediate effect to the turnover? Turnover means what? Sales, right? Your sales, right? So turnover means your sales, right? What you put into the income statement on the top, turnover, right? What is the effect on turnover and profit? Right? What is the effect on turnover and the profit of a business when the production is reduced? Production is reduced while the price of common goods is increased. Okay. And now first of all, we need to identify what are these common goods, right? Right. So common goods means, students, very simply, these are the goods that consumers are using regularly, right? Those are called common goods, right? Every consumer is using these goods in common and regularly. As an example, let's say bread, right? Bread, egg, right? Eggs, right? Right. Those are the goods which we use as consumers regularly on our day-to-day basis. Those are called common goods, right? Okay, fine. Right. Now, students, what happens if the production is reduced while the price of common goods is increased? Okay. Right. 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 So when the production is reduced, right? Okay. Now let's say as an example, right? Initially, let's talk about bread. Let's take bread as an example. Bread gum. Okay, we'll take bread. Okay. Right. Now, before any of these things occurred, we'll say we used to produce, let's say, what do you call, let's say 50, right? Right. Right. Let's say 100, right? We produced, right, 100 loaves of bread, right? Okay, right, amount, right, right, right. We produced 100 loaves of bread, ne? Pan ratal 100ක් හැදුවා. Okay, and our selling price was, let's say, how much? Let's say 10 rupees. 10 rupees killer, right? Okay, 10 rupees. Okay, rupees 10. Okay, 10 rupees. Okay, right? So how much we produced? 100 loaves of bread, each at 10 rupees, right? Then what is our total sales at that particular point, right? Right? එකක් 10 ගානේ පාන් රාත්තල් 100ක්. So we earned how much? 1000 rupees. 1000 rupees. Okay, right, right, okay, right. Now this is the initial scenario. Now the real scenario, after this particular thing happened, when the production reduced and they have increased the price. Okay, now we'll look at the second scenario. Okay, right, right. So from here, I'm going to put a small, right. Okay, now second scenario, they have reduced the production. Let's say they have reduced it by, let's say 50%. Now they are producing how much? Let's say, as an example, 50 loaves of bread. ඉස්සල්ල 100ක් හදපු තැන දැන් 50යි හදන්නේ, because they have reduced the production. And then for that they have increased the price. හරිද? ඔන්න. Now they have increased the price, let's say how much? Right? How much? Right? Now it's 10, right? Let's say they have increased the price to, let's say 12, right? 12. They have increased the price to 12. Now how much? Right? 50 into 12. How much? What's the price? Because we cannot increase the price to 100 rupees, no? Then no one will buy. Okay, right? That is unrealistic. Okay, how much? 50 into 12. 50 into 12. Now you are earning only 600 rupees. Oops, sorry. Right, now we are earning only 600 rupees. Right, okay, right. Now someone might argue, Ayo sir, we have reduced the, what do you call, amount. Why don't we increase the price for 20 or 30? Okay, right, right. Then if you increase the price to 30, right, you might be wondering, then we might earn, let's say how much? 1500 rupees. So more than this, no. But if you think practically, students, if you take these common goods like bread and all, do you think that there are people who would buy, right, 2 times or 3 times higher than the normal price? No, right? The customer will say, "Ayyo, අර bakery මනුස්සයාට පිස්සු." Right? මේ වෙන්දර අපිට රුපියල් 10ට ගන්න පුළුවන්ගේ දැන් මනුස්සයා විකුණන රුපියල් 100කට විතර. Is it made out of gold? No, right? Right? So in these common good students, right, people are very much concerned about the price also. So that is an unrealistic assumption for you to put it to, like, let's say 100 rupees or 50 rupees or whatever, right? Okay, 30 rupees, right? So that's why I just increase the price practically, right? So what has happened? What has happened actually? The price has reduced, or the turnover, right? Sales amount. Earlier you sold 100, but now you are making only 50. So now your turnover has gone down. The total sales has gone down. So what? Decrease. We have two answers here, right? We have two answers, right? Now, if your sales turnover is going down, what will happen to your profit also at the end of the day? It will also decrease, no? It will also decrease, right? Right? It will also decrease, because now when you are into what you call this bread manufacturing, there are certain costs that will be fixed. There's no much of change, right? So in that case, as a result of it, your what? profit will also decrease. So the answer is answer number 9. Okay, right, good. So that's how you think. Okay. Question number 6. State 4 main objectives that a business expects to accomplish. You can write these, right? I have given you around 8 objectives, right? Make profits, to survive in the market, to increase market share, to win over the competition, right? And at the end of the day, to make the business owner happy. Okay. Oh, now we have a big question here. Okay, right. Quickly, we'll do this question. Right, quickly, we'll do this question. Okay, go ahead. Right. Right. So this is also another scenario-based question, student. Right. Another scenario-based question. Right. Let's read the question. Right. Follow the same principle. Right. Underline the most important phrases. Okay. Right. Good. After completing a professional course, right, Asha commenced a beauty salon. Beauty salon. Nowadays we have beauty salons everywhere, no? Right? Okay. Right. Right. So yeah, it's a very popular business in Sri Lanka. Named Amasha. Oh, the name of the business is Amasha. Right? Okay. Asha is the owner. Name of the business is Amasha. Right? So she has completed a professional course. Right? Okay. Appointed Amara its manager. All are starting from A. Amara, Amasha, right? Don't confuse. Huh? Asha invested rupees 500,000. Obtained through a loan. Oh. And rupees 200,000 from her savings. Right. Okay. So Asha had some of her savings also. She used that amount, which is 200,000, and she obtained a loan for 500,000. Altogether, it's 700,000. She bought a building. Wow, very good. Worth 600,000. And the balance was spent to import modern equipment for the business to deliver a high quality service, right? Now, students, in this industry, this salon industry, beauty culture industry, you got to have very good equipments, right? Most salon owners are bringing these equipments from Italy and German. They have very good equipments, right? So she has imported to deliver a quality service. Her impression is good, actually, her perception. She and her trained staffs, underline those important ones. She has a trained staff. She also trained. Why? She has a professional course, ready to provide service at any time. Oh, at any time. Wow, superb. Either by visiting customers or at the beauty salon. Wow, very good, no? Right? Okay. There's a mobile service also. You go home and you do the dressing and all, then you come back, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, it's happening because I know, because my wife is actually doing that. I mean, not doing the business. Whenever she wants to go on a wedding or for a party or anything, right? They will, I mean, she will ask a particular person from a salon to come to my house and what do you call, put her makeup on and what do you call, help her to dress, no? Right? So that is happening actually. Okay, right. Okay. According to this, right? Classify the business according to the following criteria. Okay. So we have to classify the business. Okay. Okay. We have to classify the business. Okay. What can you say? According to ownership, right? According to ownership, students, right? Right. Right. This is actually based on the ownership. This is actually a privately owned business, right? Who owns it? Asha, right? Right. You can write privately owned business, ownership, right? Private, right? Objective seems to be make profits, ne? Right? Okay. Nathang, she has not taken a loan and invested her money, and all those things are done just to give more value to the customers and earn profit. So this, the second answer point is to make profits. Okay. To make profits, profit oriented. Profit oriented. Okay, right. Then scale of the business, right? What can you say? Is it small, medium, or large? It's very small, right? Very recently she started her business, right? And she has only few amount of employees. So it's a small scale business. Small. Production sector. right? What can you say according to the production sector? Huh? What can you say according to the production sector? Earlier also we discussed about the production sector, right? What can you say? Hmm? Right? Based on the production sector, right? This could be taken under what? Services, right? Based on the production sector, because she's providing a professional service. That's why, can you see? Can you see here? I wanted you to underline certain things, right? Can you see? Right? Where can I take it? Here you go, right? Professional course. Professional course. That implies that Asha is providing a professional service where she has got some knowledge through a professional course, and she is offering that service to customers, right? So since she is providing a professional service like what you call beauty care over here, beauty care things, all those things are coming under services. Okay, right. Next, they're asking another question. Briefly describe whether Asha's business fulfills a need or a want of a person. What can you say? What can you say, students? Whether Asha is trying to fulfill a need or a want. Whether Asha is fulfilling a need or a want. What can you say? What can you say? Right? What can you say, students? Is it a need or a want? I want an answer from you all. Right. 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 So I would say this is actually a want. Why? Because Asha is having a beauty salon, right? Asha is having a beauty salon. Why do we go to a beauty salon? Just to improve our appearance, right? Right, just to improve our appearance so that we would be personally satisfied. No, you go to a beauty salon, you put a what do you call a facial. No, those are, there are gold facial, there are what do you call hydrotherapy facials. They use different types of what do you call quality uh, types of cream, no, right? Soothes ki, Arakia, Meva ki, right? Okay. So anyway, we go to a beauty salon just to increase our personal appearance, right? That's what a beauty salon does, right? But actually, if you see these beauty salon services, those are not essential for our survival. Right now, just think, if you don't go to Asha's beauty salon, or if you don't go to any beauty salon, will you die? No, right? Mama makeup them නැත්තම් එහෙම මම මැරෙයිද? Of course, girls do think like that, but I mean, if you take guys, they have never been to a beauty salon. I mean, some guys are going, but I have never been to a beauty salon. So, මම ලස්සනට ඉන්නේනේ, කිසිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැතුව, right? Right? So it won't be any issue for your survival, right? So going to a beauty salon and getting all these treatments are not essential for survival. You are all good. But if you go to a beauty salon, it will add some icing to your face, no, right? It will increase your appearance. No, that's why before you go to a wedding, you go to a beauty salon, no? Guys, of course, they go in their own way, so not to worry. Okay, right? So they're actually offering a want, right? They're actually offering a want. Okay, right? So you can write the answer, right? You can write want, right? So you can write the answer like this, right? A beauty salon service, right? A beauty salon service, right? A beauty salon service helps customers improve their appearance and personal satisfaction, right? Then in the next line, you can write, it is not essential for survival. Therefore, it satisfies a want rather than a need. If you write that answer, you get the full marks, because need, of course, we need for the essential. It's an satisfying a need is essential for our survival, right? Okay, but going to a beauty salon and beautifying yourself is not essential. You can do it at home also if you wish, right? Okay, right? Okay, so if you properly wake up in the morning and if you wash well and if you do all those things, you don't need beauty salons as well. Okay, right? No offense. Right? Okay, right. Next we are asking, name and describe two tactics except the price that Asha has adopted to increase the demand of the customers. Wow. Right, right, right. Apart from the price, right, apart from the price, right, right, apart from the price, what are different types of tactics Asha has used to increase the demand of the customers, right? Now, if you look at the story, students, very clearly, it says very nice things, right? We underline them also, right? Let me go to, right? Okay, fine. Okay. The first point you can write, okay, she's trying to provide a high quality service, right? 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 How are you going to justify that answer? Because here, she is importing modern equipments. She's importing modern equipments because you have to have modern equipments for to provide a better quality service, right? Okay, right. And also you have a staff which is being properly trained. Here you go, a trained staff RD for service, right? So you can say Asha is providing a better quality service through better equipments and through better staff. So people will definitely demand for beauty salons who has better equipments and better staff, right? Because this beauty culture thing is like very fragile thing. If you do something wrong, I mean, it'll keep a mark, right, in your entire life, right? Right. වැරදීමක් වුණොත් එන්නේ හදිසියක් මේකප් එකක් දාද්දි or let's say facial එකක් දාද්දි වැරදීමක් වෙලා මූණ පිච්චුනොත් එහෙම, that scar will be there in your entire. So in that case, people would love to go to places who has trained staff, and also when they are using better equipments, better products. So you can write high quality service. For that justification, you can write. Second thing you can write, students, in the description it says, right, right, right. The staff is ready to provide service at any time. Wow, that's really good. So they have gone beyond that and they will say they are visiting their customers, right? Home visits, right? So that will give more convenience, right? So nowadays people would love if beauty salon people are coming to their house and just doing the things done, right? Rather than going to the salon and waiting in the queue for so long, because these treatments will take a long time, like 1 hour, some are 2 hours, right? So you would love the people would come to your place and do these things. So that's an additional thing that is being provided that will improve the quality of the service. So you can write the second point, providing convenience for the customers, right? Right. So you can write this answer, right, where the staff is ready to provide you service, right, at the salon as well as visiting the customer homes as well. So that will make the life easy of the customer. So the second answer point is convenience, right? So what are the two answer points here, right? Two tactics, trying to provide high quality service, and number two, better convenience, right? Better convenience, right? Okay, question number 3, right? Quickly, let's discuss. Describe 2 ways the industry to which Asha's business belongs to contribute for the economic development. Okay, how Asha is trying to help for the economic development, right? How Asha is trying to help for the economic development. These answers are very common. She has created jobs, right? Employment opportunities. right? And then she's doing a business. From that, she's trying to make profits. So from that profit, she is paying for the government as taxes. That will improve the economy, right? Right. Through her service, she's contributing to the gross domestic production in the country, right? Right. Right. Because this is a service, right? This is a service provided, right? So that will generate some level of income for the country, right? Okay. So students, those two answers are enough, right? Okay. Right. Right. Okay. Next one. Okay. Right. Next one you can write, right? Write 4 resources with examples in addition to the entrepreneurship employed by Asha's business. Simple, right? Apart from entrepreneurship, what are the other resources that you can write? Land. And they're asking for you to give an example also. For land, what can you say? Right? In the description, it says there's a building which is worth of 600,000. You can write that, right? Building which is worth, right? Building worth 600,000 rupees. LKR. An example for land. Labor, right? For labor, you can write what? Right? Asha and her trained staff, no? Right? Trained staff. Now, I'm not making new answers. These answer points are directly taken from the description. If you read the description properly, you can find these answers. Land, labor, capital. What can you say for capital? Right? So you have modern equipment which is imported. Modern equipment. Right? Imported. What else? Right? Right? And then it says, the description says Asha is providing her personal saving which is worth 200,000 rupees. Personal saving. That is also capital. Personal savings. What else? 500,000 loan. That can also be taken. It's a capital, part of capital. What you invest to start your business or to run your business. Right? Okay. Right. So land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, they have not asked us to take. Right. Then what about time? Right. We can give an example for time because they have very specifically mentioned, right? Employees are trying to, the trained staff is trying to give the service at any time. Okay. Right. 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 So you can say working time for trained staffs, right? Working time for trained staff, right? Right. Then you can say working time for equipments. That all should be taken. For equipments, I think equipments, the time taken. Right. Okay. Right. Right. So I've given you land, labor, capital, time. Then another answer point you can write, students, knowledge. Right. Now in the beauty culture industry, you should be in line with the market because you should have information about new equipments. You should have information about new products that could be used. No, right? Different brands. You should be able to know what are the new preferences of customers. No? So you should have information about those as well. Consumer taste, right? So you can write that also. Okay, right? Okay, fine. So you can write any of these answers, right? But we took all these answers from the description which was given. Description which was given. Right, students? Okay. So finally, we have completed the entire thute of lesson number 1, part A. We have done the theories, we had completed the concepts, everything, and we have done all the past paper questions from MCQs to second paper questions from 2020 to 2025. For the last 6 years, these were the questions which has been tested. All are done. Now, this duty is done. And last week we started discussing about stakeholders, which is the balance part of lesson number 1, which is part B. And from next week onwards, students, we will be discussing about stakeholders and business environment, very specifically the internal environment and then external environment, right? So students, that's it for today, right? So make sure that you be in line with the handouts, study the handouts, and think practically. That's what I have to give away today. So thank you very much and hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you.